The players tonight are all on a track. It's time to play the game. Let's shuffle the deck on Card Sharks. And now here's your host of Card Sharks, Jose Cáceres. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into another exciting edition of Card Sharks here on Sleepy Time Studios on the MVG Network. We're so glad to have you here with us tonight. Before we begin this episode, of course, I want to give a shout out to the Flat Bro Kid, Scott Michaels, for coming up with that wonderful opening poem. And with that being said, this is our penultimate episode. After this, we will on our next show is the regular season finale, and once that episode is done, we will have our top 8 locked in for our Tournament of Champions, set to begin in the next 2 episodes. But we've got a champion who has defined the words comeback story. When he joined us on our last episode, he was the Bubble Boy sitting in 8th place. But with a couple of good wins and good luck at the cards, he all of a sudden has jumped up to 4th place, and he is back to try to continue his run as he goes for his 3rd win tonight. With a total so far of $46,400, we welcome back our current champion, Mr. Chris Rahaman. Well, Chris, first and foremost, where do I begin? I mean, like I said, you were the Bubble Boy going into this, but now you very well could have a good chance to secure a spot on our top 8. But your championship run's still not over. You could very well pick up 3rd place here because you're not that far off. Do you think you'll be able to do so tonight?
Let's just see how this goes.
Alright, well, best of luck to you, sir. But of course, you know you got to beat another challenger to pick up that 3rd win, and let's meet him right now. We haven't had him on in a good long while, and he is currently sitting at the bottom of the pack in a 5-way tie at number 18, only picking up $1,000 so far in his previous appearances, but he looks to change that tonight. We welcome back Michael Bobadier. Glad to have you back with us, Michael. You haven't been, the cards have not treated you very well in your last few appearances here, and again, you only have $1,000 so far for the season, and this being the penultimate episode, this is more than likely your final opportunity to try to get yourself into the top 8. It's a long journey, but you can get there. Do you think you have what it takes to get there?
I think we have to just wait. See, Chris is a really awesome player, and in terms of the leaderboard, and to the season, this is time to be a legend.
Alright, well, Chris has done it, so it is possible. So I wish you the best of luck here tonight. Now, of course, the both of you know how to play our game. Y'all have been here before, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into our game. Good luck to the both of you, and away we go. Alright, so round number 1, our first question, as always, goes to our champion. So, Chris, this first one is yours. Alright, Chris, we asked 100 rideshare drivers, have you ever given rude customers a longer ride on purpose? How many of those rideshare drivers said that they had?
By rude customers, what kind of rude customers are we talking?
Just anyone who's just flat out rude in general.
Karen, Five, anyone.
All rude people. They don't have to be Karens.
I know, but those are pretty common these days. Honestly, not much of an expert on rideshare programs, either the rideshare, Uber, Lyft, or whatever. Let me say about 55.
Alright, I do want to apologize to the folks at home. I had my Discord volume down a bit, so you could faintly hear Chris, but I believe you said 55?
Correct.
Alright, there we go. So now everyone at home can hear him. Much better. Alright, so you said 55 out of 100. Michael, higher or lower than 55?
Ooh, man. Ugh.
Man, I haven't been in that situation in ever. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Chris could say the same thing.
Yep.
I'd say a little bit higher.
Says higher than that. Alright, of course, if it is higher, Michael, you get control of the cards first. If not, it'll be Chris. The actual number of rideshare drivers who have ever given rude customers a longer ride on purpose is 25. It is not higher. Alright, so Chris, you've got control of the cards for the first time, so let's see your opening base card. We start you with a jack. Would you like to keep it or change it?
Lower, please.
Alright, he's going to keep it, going lower than the jack. It's a 9.
Lower question mark.
You're going lower?
Yes.
Alright, going for it. Lower than the 9. It's a 3.
Oh, never mind. Higher.
Higher than the 3. It's a 7.
I'm gonna freeze right there, please.
And freezing it right there, and just like that, needing only one card to pick up the first round of the match. And he also keeps Michael away from his cards. So now we go on to question number 2. And Michael already needing to play some catch-up. He needs control for this question. Alright, so Michael, here it is. Okay, we got one of our special questions here, Michael. A little player percentages. Alright, so Michael, according to Match.com's annual survey, what % of single people have ever had a friends with benefits relationship?
28%.
28?
Yeah.
He says 28% have had friends with benefits relationships before. Chris, higher or lower than 28%?
What the odds of a potential double date or triple? Who knows? Let's see. This one I say that's a tiny bit higher.
This is higher than that. Alright, so again, this is according to Match.com's annual survey. The actual percentage of single people who have ever had a friends with benefits relationship is 55%. It is higher. Of course, that was the time to go for 55.
I know, right?
Alright, but either way, Chris, you get control once again, and you have that 7.
Which I would like to change.
Alright, changing it, the 7 goes away, and your new base card is a jack.
Lower, please.
To pick up game number 1 and $1,000, lower than the jack. Oh no, it's another jack!
Well, bad move to change it, but oh well.
So Chris stays where he is for now, and that means that Michael gets a free chance to play off his base card of a queen.
I'm gonna go lower.
Lower than the queen. It's a 6.
Higher.
Higher than the 6. It's a 7.
Freeze.
Alright, freezing it right there. Only behind Chris by 1 card. It's all of a sudden become interesting 2 questions in. On to our 3rd question now, and we go back to Chris for this one.
Okay.
Chris, we asked 100 first graders.
Ooh, okay.
Can your dad beat up Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? How many of those first graders think that their dad could beat up The Rock?
My word. Okay. Let's see. I think that depends. Are you good at fighting? Do you have the muscles? I don't know. I'm gonna say about 58.
Alright, he says 58 out of 100 think that their dad could beat up The Rock. Michael, higher or lower than 58?
If they were all named Stone Cold, yes.
Wrestling lingo, I don't get it.
I'd have to say. Now, there are a lot of fans that are wrestling fans, but I'm not sure if they're movie fans as well. I think they'd rather be fans of The Rock rather than against Sunset Mullen.
You say lower than that?
Yep.
Alright, he says lower. Alright, the actual number of first graders who do think that their dad could beat up Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is 54, it is slightly lower. Chris, you were right in the ballpark with that one, and unfortunately missed it by a bit. But
Yeah.
Michael gets what could be potentially important control here, as you have a 7.
I shall change it, please.
All right, the 7 goes away, and we are going to replace it with a 4.
All right, that's good. Higher.
Higher than the 4. Oh, no, it's a 3.
Whoa.
Unfortunately, Michael doesn't make any progress, and that means Chris gets a free chance to play off that jack.
Hopefully this time it doesn't screw me over lower.
Once again, to pick up game number 1 and $1,000, lower than the jack. It's a 2, he's got it! Well done, Chris. You picked up the first round of the match. We give you another $1,000, and you are now currently at $47,400. You win one more, and you'll pick up your 3rd win. Alright, but of course, Michael knows that deficits like these can be overcome. So he can still get himself into this game, so let's go ahead and clear the board and get everything ready for our 2nd round. Alright, 2nd round, of course, same as the first. The only difference is that the challenger gets the first question of this one. So, Michael, we're going to start with you for this one. And I kid you not, this question came up on my this question came up next on my card, and it is another player percentages.
Oh, boy.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Favorite.
Michael, according to the Nielsen Company, what % of Americans attended a music festival in 2018?
What in the world? Ugh. I gotta think. Well, $63.
He says 63% of Americans attended a music festival in that year. All right, Chris, higher or lower than 63%?
Lower.
Why do you think lower here?
Honestly, pretty much a guess.
Yeah, not much knowledge. All right,
No.
let's find out. Again, according to the Nielsen Company, the actual the actual percentage of Americans who attended a music festival in 2018 is 23. It is way lower. Apparently, music festivals were not that popular that year. All right, Chris, you've got control, and let's see your opening base card. You have a 6. You can change it if you wish.
Which I will do.
All right, changing to 6, it goes away, and we replace it with a 5, a little better.
A little better. Let's go higher.
Higher than the 5? Oh no, it's a 3! So even with the change, no progress made, and that means Michael gets a free chance to play off his base card of a 4.
Gotta go higher.
Higher than the 4, it's a 10.
Ooh. I'll risk it lower.
Going forward, lower than the 10, it's a 6.
Freeze.
Raising it right there, taking the 2-card lead, and only 2 cards away from tying up this match. All right, but this round's of course just getting started. We now go on to our second question of the round, and Chris, we are back to you for this one.
Okay.
Chris, we asked 100 8th graders, have you ever forged your mom or dad's signature for something at school? Now remember, these are 8th graders. How many of those 8th graders admitted that they had?
I can see that happening for one or two reasons. A, they got in trouble and they don't want their parents to hear about it. Or something that just needs to be signed. Given this is 8th graders, I'd say about 60.
All right, he says 60 out of 100 have forged the signature. Michael, higher or lower than 60?
What kind of a topic is this?
I know.
If it was for something other than this, it would be way much different. I don't know. To be exact, I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have to ask for one. So I'd say slight lower.
Alright, the actual number of 8th graders who have ever forged their mom or dad's signature for something at school is 54. It is slightly lower. Alright, Michael, you've got control, and you have that 6.
I'm going to change that.
Alright, changing it, the 6
Give me
goes
something
away, and we replace it with another 6.
Ooh. I'll go higher.
Higher than the 6, it's a 7.
I'll freeze again.
Alright, getting himself one step closer to winning this round and tying it up. Alright, and that now brings us to our third question of this round. And we are back to Michael for this one. Michael, we asked 100 women. Have you ever told a guest to make themselves at home when you really wish they'd just leave? How many of those women said that they had done that?
Ooh. Jeez. I would never see a woman do that to me. I mean, is this another topic we know absolutely diddly squat about? Oh, Chris, I mean, I don't even throwing the book at. Talk about throwing the book at us. I mean, this is way beyond another level. I'd say 38.
Alright, he says 38 out of 100. Chris, higher or lower than 38?
Well, if this is about telling to leave, either it could be one or two things, but I say that's a little bit higher.
Alright. The actual number of women who have ever told a guest to make themselves at home when they really wish they'd just leave is 73. It is way higher. Alright, Chris, this is your opportunity to get into the game here. You have that 5.
Well, my luck is kind of in the moose. So this could be tricky, but Michael, go ahead and play it.
No, it's not Son of Death. You gotta play.
No, this is the
change.
Michael, this is the third question.
It's not Son of Death, Chris.
Oh, my mind is gone.
Yeah. Well, Chris, we're at the third question. The next one's sudden death.
I didn't hear it. My bad. Let's go higher. Sorry.
All right, keeping it going higher than the 5. It's a 6.
Oh, dang it. Higher? Question mark. At this rate.
You're going higher?
Yes.
Higher than the 6? It's a 10.
I'll better play safe and freeze.
All right, freezing it right there. Putting us in a very interesting situation. Chris only needing 2 cards, but Michael needing 1 more. Control is of the utmost importance here as we go to our 4th and final question. And as mentioned, this is the sudden death question, so somebody has to win on this next play of the cards. The question goes to Chris.
Let's hear it.
All right. Chris, we asked 100 5th graders.
Mm-hmm.
Are you on Instagram? How many of those 5th graders said that they are on Instagram?
Honestly, I could see that happening these days. But I don't know, 5th graders are mostly 10-year-olds. I don't know. I'm going to say about 50. I'm going to say about 55.
All right, he says 55 out of 100 are on Instagram. Michael, higher or lower than 55?
That is such a rare topic.
Right.
I don't even see that happening. Lower.
He says lower than that. All right, again, control of the utmost importance here. The actual number of 5th graders who are on Instagram is 43. It is lower. All right, so Michael, you've got the decision, sir. So, here's the situation. You have a 7 that you, of course, know you can change. You've got to call the one card correctly here. If you don't, Chris wins and picks up his 3rd win, and he's still the champion. But, of course, you can force Chris to play off the 10 that he cannot change, and he has to call 2 cards correctly. If he misses even 1, we have a tie game. What do you want to do?
Ooh. The cards that could hurt Chris are a Jack, Queen, King, and an Ace. So, the odds are way in his favor. So, I'm going to change the 7 and play it.
All right, you're going to play it yourself. Good luck to you, sir.
I'm going to change.
Yeah, all right, of course you're changing the 7. All important change here. The 7 goes away, and we replace it with a Queen.
Oh.
Lower.
To tie up the match. Lower than the Queen. It's a 5. We have a tie game. All right, Michael, good call on your part, playing it yourself, worked out there, and you have tied up the match. You pick up another $1,000, so you have $2,000 for the season. But now, it's gonna come down to this. We are going to a tiebreaker round once again. As you can see, 3 cards, but we're only asking 1 question. So, the champion always gets the questions in the tiebreaker round. So, Chris, here it is.
Okay.
We asked 100 grandmas. No, John Bergman's wasn't asked. Wow. Anyways, we asked 100 grandmas. Do you have a smartphone? How many of those grandmas said that they did have a smartphone?
No, that's a very good question, because honestly, as far as smartphone goes, I don't think a lot of them would be tech savvy, because I live with my mom and grandma. For this number, I'm going to say about 48.
All right, he says 48 out of 100. Michael, higher or lower than 48?
Well, first of all, way to jinx yourself because John Bergman showed up.
Oh. Okay, I won't ask. All right, I'll explain the context to John after you give me your answer, Michael. Higher or lower?
Big time joke. I'd say higher.
All right, he says higher now. So, John, just to give you the context of what's going on, we're currently playing a tiebreaker here, and the question was asked to 100 grandmas, and I said that yours didn't count.
Well, I think my grandma would differ on you on that. So,
Oh, John Bergman, everybody. Good night. Anyways.
Wow.
All right. So let's get serious here. This is for all important control. The actual number of grandmas who do have a smartphone is 86. It is way higher. All right. So,
Wow.
Michael, you've got the decision. Once again, I'm going to start by revealing both of your base cards. Chris, hold on, let me clear control. I didn't mean to do that.
Go ahead.
I hit the wrong button. Chris has a 4, and you have a Jack.
Wow.
So, Michael, the choice is yours. Do you want to keep control, knowing that you can change your Jack and Chris can't, or do you want to pass control over to him?
Now this is a tough scenario because we both have awesome cards here.
Right.
So this could go in either direction. I can play it, call a lower. The only cards that will hurt me, Queen, King, Ace. Chris, on the other hand, a 3 and a 2 would hurt him.
Don't forget a duplicate.
Yeah, a duplicate, yeah.
Let him think, Chris.
Hmm.
He's got a point.
Just know I do need a decision soon.
I'm gonna play, and just to avoid confusion, I'm gonna change to Jack. Just to avoid confusion.
Alright, so you're gonna play it yourself, and you are changing the Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so an all-important change here. The Jack goes away, and we replace it with a 7.
Higher.
Higher than the 7. It's an ace!
Lower!
To become the new champion! Lower than the ace? No, it's another ace and Chris wins!
Unbelievable.
You have got to be kidding me! Oh, Michael, I am so sorry. You were just mentioning how the duplicates could have hurt you there, and unfortunately that's what ended up happening to you. And with that, Chris picks up his 3rd win. We give him another $1,000 for winning that round. And Chris, you are now up to $48,400 for your season total. You're going to be going back to the money cards in just a moment, but Michael, my goodness. That was the best card you could have gotten. And even then, the card still found a way to hurt you.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
That is an unfortunate
Now the-
heartbreak there.
Ace of Diamonds, you're now my new worst enemy.
Well, yeah, you'll never look at that particular Ace of Diamonds the same way ever again. But
No,
Michael,
I will not.
did you still have fun with us this season?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, hey, you're not leaving out of here empty-handed. You did pick up the $1,000 for winning that one round. So you do leave us this season with a total of $2,000. But we thank you for playing this season, and we hopefully look forward to having you back next season.
Thanks, Jose.
My word, Mikey.
Alright, so that is Michael Bombardier, but now, before we go to commercial here, Chris, and before we talk leaderboard situations here, we of course have got to play the what-if game. So, had Michael passed you, Chris, what would your call have been on the 4?
That would be higher.
It would have been a 5.
Higher again.
And you would have had it, so it was set up for Chris to win either way.
Well, I think in both situations, had Michael played the Jack, he probably would have lost either way, too, I think.
Yeah, so again, it was set up for you to win either way.
Yeah.
Alright, but Chris, what matters is, you're still the champion. You picked up your 3rd win, and when we come back after this commercial break, you're going to be having another crack at the money cards to see how much you can add to that total.
Okie doke.
So, folks, we'll be right back after this here on Card Sharks. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody, to Card Sharks. We're here with our now 3-time champion, Chris Rahaman, with $48,400. Chris, I'm not going to lie to you. I legitimately thought your run was over when Michael revealed that first ace, but did you even think for a second that another ace would come up after that?
No.
I don't think any of us were, to be honest, so I don't even know why I asked that question, but even then, Chris, by the skin of your teeth, you picked up that 3rd win. And now before we get to your money cards here, let's talk a little bit of leaderboard situation, because with this win, you have done just enough, because the person in 3rd place had $48,200 to his total. So by $200, you are now in 3rd place, and that is as far high up as you can go.
Wow. Oh.
But of course, you can improve if you retire. And you are the last potential retiree. If someone ends your run, Will and Chris Chambers are the only 2 retired champions.
Okay.
But either way, Chris, no matter what happens, you are now in 3rd place overall on the leaderboard. You have just surpassed Gianni. But now, that's just the start of it. You ready to try to add some more money to that total?
Yes, I am.
All right, then let's go ahead and get to your third money cards round. All right, so Chris, you know how we play this game, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into it.
Okay.
Here is your $200 of betting money. And let's see what your opening base card is. We start you off with a 6.
Change the 6 with number 3.
All right, using the 1 change per row, the 6 goes away. And we replace it with a queen.
All of it lower.
$200, lower than the queen. It's a 10. You're up to $400, but you've got to call this 10.
Right. All of it lower.
All 400, lower than the 10. It's a 6. You're up to 800 now.
400 higher.
All right, going half of it, 400, higher than the 6. It's a king. All right, Chris, you're up to $1,200. We move that king up to the second row, give you another $400 of betting money. You have $1,600 with a king.
Hopefully hopefully what just happened the last round doesn't follow me here. All of it lower.
$1,600 going all of it lower than the king. Oh, it's an ace! You busted!
Wide world.
Oh, we're back to this now, aren't we?
What is this madness here? First the ace gets Mikey.
Chris, you just jinxed you realize you just jinxed yourself, right?
Yeah, I know.
You said hopefully it wouldn't happen, and lo and behold, you've struck out. Again. Because this is not the first time you've busted either.
I know.
Oh my goodness. But Chris, I am so sorry. You have lost it all. And you are not picking up anything here on this round of the money cards. But look at it this way. You're still the champion. You've got 3 wins. And when we come back, you're going to be facing another challenger as you go for win number 4. But we will meet that challenger in just a moment. But when we come back here on Card Sharks, stay with us, folks. My goodness, we're back at this again. Welcome back to Card Sharks. We're back here with our champion, Chris, but man, we are back on the bus train. Chris, I'm not gonna lie to you. I legitimately thought you were gonna go all the way with that one, but I didn't even think that ace would come back to haunt you, but lo and behold, it did.
First Mikey, now me. Which, by the way, he made a special card during the commercial break before he left, called the Anti-Ace. That's for you.
Well, Chris, let me just say this. I mean, you win this game, you can get some revenge.
Oh yeah.
So let's see what happens here, but to get there, you're going to have to beat this next challenger as you go for win number 4. You ready to meet him?
Yeah.
All right, well, we welcome him back. He has yet to pick up a match win for himself. He's won a round in a previous appearance, but if there was ever a time to get a championship for himself, now is the time. Currently sitting near the bottom of the pack with $1,500 to his total, we welcome back Russ Bielefeld.
Seamus, you better have those damn cards shuffled. Oh, hi, Jose.
Anti-Ace card. Here you go.
Well, anyways, well, Russ, first and foremost, welcome back. Second, yeah, I think you should I think you have every right to get pissed at Seamus for this.
I know.
But either way, you're back with us once again. This is your final opportunity to try to take a championship for yourself. You are up against the 3-time champion here in Chris. Do you think you have what it takes to stop that run of his?
Well, the old saying is 3 times the third time's the charm, something like that. So let's go.
All right, best of luck to the both of you. We're gonna go ahead and get started here, since you both know how to play the game. So let's get to it. First question of the first round goes to Chris. Here we go. Well, how appropriate that this question came up, seeing that this is the time of the year for it, at least at the time of taping.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe this type of question even came up. But Chris, we got another player percentages question.
Oh, grand.
Chris, according to Market Watch, what percent of the people who buy pumpkin spice lattes are men?
Say the truth, that's the latte I don't drink. 52.
Alright, he says 52%. Russ, higher or lower than 52%?
Okay, well, when you started that question, I thought you were going to ask what percentage of people who buy the pumpkin spice lattes are white, and I was going to say 110%. But anyway. Okay, how many people are men? I'm going lower on this one. I think the women might be more likely to buy the pumpkin spice lattes.
110% white, wow. Okay, but anyways, I'll tell you this right now. Chris, what are you doing with your life? Why have you not drank that latte yet?
I'm not much of a coffee person. I drink regular coffee in the morning.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Sorry.
To each their own interest. All right.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you from experience, I've actually had that pumpkin spice latte before, and I honestly regretted why I didn't even realize what I was missing out on. But anyways, according to Market Watch, the actual percentage of the people who buy pumpkin spice lattes who are men is 47%. It is slightly lower. And yes, I am in that crowd. Alright, so Russ, you've got control of the cards for the first time. Let's see your opening base card. You have an ace!
Okay. Yeah, there better not be another one of those in that next one. Lower.
Lower than the ace? It's an 8.
Please.
Freezing it, you cut out.
Yes.
Alright,
Please.
freezing it right there. Keeping Chris away from his cards. Alright, and that now brings us to our second question of the round. And Russ, we go to you for this one. Alright. Russ, we asked 100 doctors' wives. Very specific. Were you one of your husband's patients before you married him? How many of those doctors' wives said that they were?
Question could be reread. Yeah, how many doctors are mixing business with pleasure? Yeah. 34.
34?
Yes.
Alright, he says 34 out of 100. Chris, higher or lower than 34?
I don't even know at this point. Higher.
This is higher than that. Alright, the actual number of doctors' wives who were one of their husband's patients before they married her is 72. It is way higher.
Wow.
I'm not gonna.
I get about that business with pleasure thing. And okay, maybe I shouldn't have gone there.
No.
Alright, well, Chris, you can control the cards for your first time. Let's see your opening base card. You have a 6.
Out. Get it out.
Alright, changing without hesitation, the 6 goes away, and we replace it with a 4.
That's better. That's better. Higher.
Higher than the 4, it's a 5.
Higher again, please.
Higher than the 5? Oh, it's another 5!
Geez.
My lordy.
Ugh. So no progress made there, and that means Russ gets a free chance to play off that dirty snowman.
I will try higher.
Higher than an 8, it's a 10.
I really do not want to start back at the 8. I'm going to freeze again.
Alright, freezing it right there. He's going one step at a time, but that does get him closer. Now only needs 2 cards to pick up the first round of the match. Alright, I believe we're on to our third question of the round now. And we're back to Chris for this one. Oh, they just get weirder and weirder. Chris, well, let me read the question and you'll find out.
Okay.
Chris, we asked 100 Los Angeles women. Again, very specific.
Hmm.
As far as you know, do you snore? How many of those Los Angeles women said yes?
Snore?
Yes. As far as you know, do you snore is what we asked the women.
Oh boy. Very specific, I'll give you that. I'm going to say about 55.
You said 55?
Correct.
Alright, he says 55 out of 100. Russ, higher or lower than 55?
Very rarely snore, and I sincerely doubt many would admit to snoring. I'm going way lower.
Says lower than that. Alright. The actual number of Los Angeles women who, as far as they know, they do snore is 35. It is lower. Alright. So, Russ, you've got control once again, and you have that 10.
Yes, and I am getting rid of that 10.
Alright, changing it, the 10 goes away, and we replace it with a 5.
Well, higher.
Higher than the 5? It's a 7.
Oh, jeez. As Nell Snezra says, it's gonna nickel and dime this thing. Freeze.
Alright, again, still going one step at a time, but now needing only one more card to win the first round of the match. But now, we're at our 4th question, so it's sudden death. Somebody has to win on this final play of the cards here. Russ, the question goes to you. Wow, really? We're going here for this one? Oh, God. Alright. Brace yourselves, gentlemen. Russ, we asked 120-somethings. So, again, this is 100 people in their 20s.
Uh-oh, no.
Have you ever checked your phone during sexy time?
Oh my god.
How many of those people? How many of those people in their 20s admitted that they had?
Oh god, yeah.
I kid you not. This is literally the next question that came up.
I know. Is this another one where I could say 110%?
I mean, unfortunately, it's out of 100, sir.
Yes, I know. Right, well, since we're going down this road, 69.
Oh, you would go there. You would.
The humanity.
Well, hey. I bet it's your one opportunity, so you have to capitalize on it. So I'll let it slide this time. Alright, Chris, higher or lower than 69?
How appropriate you're actually asking this to a 22-year-old. I'm like, what?
Okay then.
During sexy time, excuse me? What? I don't even know. I'm lost for words. Anyways, lower, please.
He says lower than that. Dear Lord, help us all.
I know.
Alright. For all important control, the actual number of people in their 20s who have ever checked their phone during sexy time is 28. It is lower. Thank God it is not that high.
Same.
Why would anyone want to check their phone during that time period?
I don't know.
Well, anyways. Chris, you've got the decision here. This is a little interesting. You have a 4, but you would need to go through the entire board if you want to keep control. However, you can pass it over to Russ. He has a 7 that he cannot change, and he has to call one card correctly. It's your decision. What do you want to do?
Right. You know, I can also change the 4 if I want to, but I wouldn't. Honestly, my luck is probably... I don't know how the luck was going to be from that only one card alone. So, Russ, good luck. Good luck.
All right, he is giving it over to Russ. So, Russ, you're going to have to call this 7 correctly. If you don't, Chris picks up round 1.
Yeah, well, I'll just play the odds and go higher.
All right, for game number 1 and $1,000, higher than the 7. It's a jack. He's got it. All right, Russ. Well done to you, sir. You pick up another $1,000 for winning that round, bringing you up to $2,500 total for the season. You win one more, and you'll become the new champion. But Chris, it is possible that you can come back from this deficit. I believe you have done it before. So with that being said, let's go ahead and clear the board and get things ready for our second round. All right, this time our challenger gets the first question in the second round. So Russ, we're back to you for this one. All right, thankfully this question's way tamer than the last one. So at least there's that.
Okay.
Russ, we asked 100 homeowners, do you like your neighbors? How many of those homeowners said that they do like their neighbors?
Well, I guess it depends on where they've polled these people, because some neighbors can be real a-holes depending on the city. I go high. I'm gonna hope this is a high number. 70.
All right, he says 70 out of 100 do like their neighbors. Chris, higher or lower than 70?
Honestly, depending on what kind of neighbors, so they could be good neighbors, they could be asshole neighbors, they could be a Karen's for all I know. Honestly, while I agree with Russ' logic on this, I'm gonna say that's a tiny bit lower.
All right, he says lower than that. All right, the actual number of homeowners who do like their neighbors is 84. It is not lower.
Good. There is a little hope for humanity after all.
Indeed so. All right, Russ, you get control of the cards first. Let's see your opening base card. You have a 4.
It's not bad. We'll keep it and go higher.
Higher than the 4, it's a queen.
Much better. Lower, please.
Lower than the queen, it's a jack.
Ooh. Now that was a little scary. I think I'm gonna freeze. A little weird to do it on a jack, but I think that was too close.
All right, freezing it right there on the jack, keeping Chris away from his cards, and Russ only needing 2 cards to become the new champion. All right, second question of the round, and this one goes to Chris. All right, Chris, we asked 100 people on the streets of Manhattan.
Oh.
If you were offered a good job in Los Angeles, would you take it? How many of those people of the streets of Manhattan said that they would?
Who wouldn't? Bigger opportunities over there. I'll say about 60.
He says 60 out of 100 would take that job. Russ, higher or lower than 60?
Considering I have an older son who lives in Manhattan right now, I say people who live in Manhattan, people who are from New York City in general, they are New York City ride or die. They are not going to move to LA. It's going to be lower.
When they're from what now? You didn't say it right.
From New York. Yeah, how many would take the job in LA? No, they would not.
Well, they're from New York City! That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Sorry.
Still say lower.
Alright, well, anyway, he says lower. Let's find out the actual number then. The actual number of people on the streets of Manhattan who, if they were offered a good job in Los Angeles, they would take it, is 34. It is lower. All right. So Russ's reasoning pays off, and you have control, and you have that jack.
Well, I will keep the jack and go lower.
All right, keeping it going lower than the jack. Oh no, it's a king.
Oh, it's a good thing I did freeze.
Yeah, good thing you did there. Otherwise, you'd have had to go back to the queen. But you don't make any progress. You stay where you are. But that means now that Chris gets a free chance to play off his base card of a king. Speaking of.
Yeah, lower.
Lower than the king, it's a 7.
Higher question mark?
You're going for it?
Yes.
Alright, going for it. Higher than the 7. It's a king.
Lower? Please.
Lower than the king, it's a 4.
Higher for a win?
To sweep the board, pick up a bonus 1,000, and to tie up the match. Higher than the 4? No, it's a 3!
Oh, jeez.
All those cards are gone! And you go right back to the first king. Chris, I am sorry. No progress made for either player.
My word.
Oh, apparently we are doing this again. We're at the very end of the season. The cards still want to be harsh to everybody.
I know.
Alright, so God, that round of the cards just shook my brain. I don't even know what question we're at. I think this is our third.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is our third question. So we're back to you, Russ, for this one. Alright. This one isn't too bad. Russ, we asked 100 senior citizens, are you still a good dancer? How many of those senior citizens said that they were still a good dancer?
Citizens. Well, it's gonna depend on how many of them still actually move well, I suppose. Say 40.
40?
40.
Alright, he says 40 out of 100 believe they are still good dancers. Chris, higher or lower than 40?
I want to say that's a tiny bit higher.
It's a little higher than that. Alright, the actual number of senior citizens who do believe that they are still a good dancer is 41! It is barely higher! Oh, Ross, that is brutal. You just missed it by 1 there.
Where's the
A
card?
lot this season where we've all been off by 1 on these questions.
Yeah, no kidding. That's starting to become a trend all over again. All right, but Chris, a big break for you. You have that king.
Let's try this again. Lower.
Lower than the king. It's a 3.
Higher.
Higher than the 3. It's an 8.
I better freeze.
He's freezing it right there, and that puts us at a tie situation heading into our 4th and final question. It is sudden death once again. This time, though, the question goes to Chris. Alright, control of the utmost importance here once again. Chris, here's the question.
Okay.
We asked 100 people who use a housekeeping service. Do you clean up before the maid comes over? How many of those people who use the housekeeping service admitted that they do?
Honestly, if they do, props to them. They make the housekeeping and they made job a lot easier. I'm gonna go on the mid. I'm gonna go on the mid low and probably say I'm gonna say about 48.
All right, he says 48 out of 100. Russ, higher or lower than 48?
Yeah. Really nasty. Go up the middle. Of course, that is expected in this game. I'm going to go higher.
Going higher than that. All right, again, for all important control of the cards, the actual number of people who use a housekeeping service that clean up before the maid comes over is 68. It is higher. All right, Russ, the decision is on. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. I meant to clear, not show the answer twice. All right, so Russ, the decision is yours. You have a jack that you can change. You've got to call these next 2 cards correctly, make 1 wrong move, and we have a tie game. However, you know that you have control, and you can force Chris to play off that 8 that he cannot change, and he also has to call 2 cards correctly. If he makes a mistake, you're the new champion. What do you want to do?
Let's have fun with that 8.
I knew it.
All right, Chris. You cannot change this 8. You've got to call this next card and the following one correctly. Make one wrong move, and Russ is the new champion.
Either way, this game is fun. Lower.
Going lower than the 8. Good luck. Here we go. Lower than the 8. It's a 6.
Okay, okay, this is gonna get a little tricky now. Once again, if I lose, go look at the money cards, Russ. Higher.
Here we go. To tie up the match and keep his championship hopes alive. Higher than the 6. It's a 10. We have a tie game! Oh, Chris, that could have gone any other way for you, but you were able to pull it off, and just like that, we are tied. We, of course, give you another $1,000 for winning that round. You're now up to $49,400 for the season, but now, once again, we are going to a tiebreaker. All right, of course, you know, 3 cards and only 1 question. And again, the champion always gets the questions in this situation, so Chris, this is yours.
Let me see that.
This one's a bit of a long one, too, so pay attention.
Okie dokie, I'm all ears.
We asked 100 psychiatrists, what is stronger, a woman's love for her husband or a woman's love for her children? How many psychiatrists said that a woman's love for her children is stronger?
Oh, my phone. Honestly, good question. Because obviously, when it comes to children, they come first more than anything. I'm gonna go on a mid-high and say 63.
All right, he says 63 out of 100. Russ, higher or lower than 63?
Higher, please.
Why do you say higher?
Well, being a father myself, yeah.
Oh,
it has to be
yeah,
higher.
okay, yeah, there you go. All right, well, let's see. You never know. For all-important control of the cards, the actual number of psychiatrists who say that a woman's love for her children is stronger than her love for her husband is 88. It is higher. All right. Russ, again, the decision is yours. I'm going to start by revealing both of your base cards. And I did it again. Clear control. Chris has a jack. And you have a 5. You, of course, know that you can change the 5. Chris cannot. Who do you want to give control to? Keep it or pass it?
Well, fate in my own hands. I will play it and I will change the 5.
Alright, gonna play it and you are changing it. So here we go. The 5 goes away, an all-important change here. And we replace it with an 8.
Oh, brother. Lower.
Lower?
Yeah.
Lower than the 8. It's a 7.
Oh, jeez. Here we go with these milk cards again. Oh, brother. Do I play the odds or do I pull an L's? I haven't had a whole lot of low cards. I'm going to pull a Nels and go lower.
Going against the odds to become the new champion. Lower than the 7. It's a 6. We have a new champion!
Oh my god, that
Congratulations, Russ. You finally picked up your first win of the regular season. We give you another $1,000 for winning that round, and you are now up to $3,500. What an ending! You're going to be playing the money cards for your very first time in just a moment. Chris, oh my goodness. When you saw that 8 come up, how did you feel?
First of all, I do question Russ' motive to changing that 5 for one. but turns out it kind of worked in his favor.
He ended up taking some gutsy calls there that were against the odds, but it still ended up working out. But Chris, unfortunately, this is where your championship run ends, but you still have fun with us regardless.
Oh yeah, I had fun.
Well, Chris, the bad news is you are unfortunately not going to be able to retire, so we will stick with 2 retired champions for the regular season, but
Fine.
you have done enough to secure yourself a spot in the Tournament of Champions, because we're going to be seeing you there for sure.
Yeah, it was
You
pretty
are-
much guaranteed at this point.
Alright, so you are sitting in 3rd right now with a final total of $49,400. But yeah, like I said, no matter what happens, you are in, so we will see you in a couple episodes.
Alrighty.
Alright, but that is... Now, Chris, before we send you off, we of course have to play the what-if game.
Yeah.
So had Russ passed control over to you, what would your call have been on the jack?
My call would have been lower,
It would have been a 5,
higher.
and you would have won. Alright, so either way, with the calls that were made, it was set up for either player to win to whoever had control. But either way, Chris, we will see you in the Tournament of Champions, but Russ, it took you almost the entirety of the regular season, but you finally did it. You've got yourself your first win, and you've got $3,500 so far to show for it. But when we come back, you're going to be playing the money cards for your very first time, hoping that you can win something out of this. But we're going to take a quick commercial break here. When we come back, Russ will be taking on the money cards for his very first time. We'll be right back after this here on Card Sharks. Stay with us. Welcome back to Card Sharks. We're here with our brand new champion, Russ Bielefeld, who made some incredibly gutsy calls there on the tiebreaker round, but they ended up working out in his favor. So, Russ, you are now the new champion with $3,500 so far for the season, but now, with a good win here, you can very well get yourself into the thick of things for the top 8. You ready to see if you can try and pull it off?
Yeah, I'm finally ready to tackle these money cards. It's taken all year, but yeah, let's go.
Alright, let's get to it then. So, you of course know how to play it. You've seen others play this before. So here we go. We're just going to get right into it. Here's your $200 of betting money. And let's go ahead and reveal your opening base card. We start you off with a 4.
Okay, let's start with $100 higher.
Alright, $100 going half of it, higher than the 4. It's a 6, you're up to $300 now.
No thanks. I would like to change that with number 2.
Alright, changing it using the 1 change per row, the 6 goes away, and we replace it with a 9.
Yeah. $100 lower.
You said 100?
Yes, sir.
Alright, $100. Lower than the 9. It's a 3. You're up to $400 now.
Okay, much better. Let's bet about Tree Fitty higher.
Alright, betting about Tree Fitty, hoping that Loch Ness Monster doesn't take it away from you here. Higher than the 3? It's a 4. You're up to $750. But we move that 4 to the second row, give you another $400 of betting money. You're now up to $1,150 with a 4.
All these 4s here. Well, let's run it back. About Tree Fitty higher.
Going another Tree Fitty. Higher than the 4. It's a 6. You're up to $1,500 now.
I would like to get rid of that one as well. Let's change it with number 3.
You may have to pay Jason for that. Alright.
Yeah, we'll see how much money I win here on the money cards.
Alright, so changing the 6 once again, it goes away and we replace it with a 4. Wow, 3.
All these 4s.
Wow. I am legitimately surprised here.
Yeah. Well, let's increase that bet a little bit. Let's make it 400 higher for that 4.
400 for the 4?
Yeah.
All right, $400 higher than the 4. It's a king. You're up to 1,900 now.
Okay, much better, much better. Let's. Well, no. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I've already seen what's been happening a lot this season. I'm going to make it 1,600 lower.
So you're going 1,600?
Yes.
All right, playing it safe. $1,600 lower than the king. It's a deuce.
Nice.
All right, Russ, we move that deuce up to the top row. You have $3,500. You've got to bet at least $1,750, and you can change it, but I highly doubt you'd want to.
Dude, though, works. Everything higher.
All right, Russ, you cannot lose on this card, so you'll either have $3,500 or $7,000. If this card is higher than a deuce, it's an ace, $7,000. And with this win, Russ, you are now in 5-digit land. We add that to the $3,500 that you picked up previously, and you're a new champion with a total of $10,500.
Get that chip off my shirt.
All right, so Russ, you are closing in, and with this win, you have skyrocketed from number 17 all the way up to number 9. You are close.
I'm the bubble boy. Oh my God.
No, you're not. You're just out of the
boy.
top 8, but you are closing in. But Russ, look at it this way. This next episode is big. You're still a champion, and you're going to be coming back on our season finale. These next 2 games can decide it for you, but it's all going to depend on how the cards treat you. But hopefully we look forward to seeing you then.
I'll be here.
All right, but folks, that's going to wrap things up here for our penultimate episode of Card Sharks. Thank you so much for joining us. And you are definitely going to want to be here with us on our next show, because when we see you then, we will have our regular season finale, and tournament standing is on the line. Once that episode is over, I will reveal the top 8 from bottom to top to determine who will battle it out in our Tournament of Champions. But until next time, when the cards come shuffling our way once again and we see Russ back here as he plays for a spot in the top 8, I'm your host, Jose Cazares, and we will see you next time for the regular season finale of Card Sharks here on Sleepy Time Studios. Good night, everybody.